Hello girls, welcome to the second episode in the series of episodes in which we practice answering the different types of questions in your exam. Today we are going to tackle the language functions and setbook questions. But before we start, I want to remind you that the time allotted for the exam is 3 hours. Please try to make use of these 3 hours so that you can answer all the questions and you get the highest mark. Let's start. For the language functions, you will be given 4 situations to which you have to respond with what you would say, not do. And this question is out of 40 marks. Let's start. Here in the language functions question, any reasonable answer is acceptable, but it is very important to use the right function. So my advice to you is to imagine yourself in the situation and imagine how you would respond to such situation. Number 17 here, someone is asking you about your opinion about increasing the price of fuel, and here you should use opinion, but again any reasonable answer is acceptable. 18. Someone is asking you about what is being broadcast nowadays on channel 2 Kuwait TV, and here you are going to give information. 19. You want to buy a new laptop instead of the one you have. Your father doesn't agree, so here you need to use persuasion. You have to persuade your father. 20. Some people claim that highway cameras are useless, and here you need to respond with disagreement. But again, I tell you that any reasonable answer, any reasonable response is acceptable. Let's move to the setbook questions. For the setbook questions, you will be given 5 questions and you have to answer only 4 of them. But do not forget that you have to use a full meaningful sentence. Okay? Short answers, please try, I want you to try to avoid them. Okay? 21. There are some guidelines to help people consume television appropriately and to avoid the negative effects. Mention some of these guidelines. You have studied the guidelines of avoiding the negative effects of the TV. Some of them are: you should make family rules and stick to them and set limits on TV viewing time. You shouldn't watch TV while eating or doing the homework. 22. How do you think TV sets in the past looked like? We studied in Unit 7, if you remember, a comparison between TV in the past and nowadays, and also the radio in the past and nowadays. Here, TV sets were very expensive, had small screens with white and black pictures. 23. Why do you think Kuwait Times is so special in the Gulf area? And this is your focus on. And the answer is that Kuwait Times is so special because it is the first English language newspaper and the only multilingual newspaper in the Gulf. 24. In your opinion, we can save our planet through what? We have many solutions. Some of them are banning cutting trees, planting more trees, repairing old cars, and using pesticides wisely. 25. Engineers design buildings which will not fall down when there is an earthquake. How? They construct buildings on rollers or springs. They use building materials that soften the impact of the earthquake. And again, I remind you that any reasonable answer is acceptable in the setbook question. And I wish you all the best and see you in the coming episode, inshallah.